welcome to Hot Chocolate Hits. I'm Benica and today I'm going to show you how to make a prune cake. This recipe comes from the Pioneer Woman. I actually watched her make this on the Food Network when I was in New York. This is one of my favorite cakes and my mom's as well. It's a prune cake, but you can't even taste the prunes, and prunes are really good for your digestive system, so you can eat that and make this cake as an excuse. It's perfect for Christmas, and it's drenched in a gooey caramel sauce, so that makes the cake really sticky and actually really delicious. So I hope you give this a go. Let's get started. So you're going to start off by placing 1 cup of prunes in a saucepan. These are just regular dried prunes. Then pour in 1 cup of water. The water prevents the prunes from sticking to the pan, and it also helps them soften up quite a bit. Bring the prunes to a boil, and once the water is at a rolling boil, you can boil it for 7 to 10 minutes. After 7 to 10 minutes, turn the heat off. Drain the prunes and mash the prunes with a fork. The finer you mash them, the less conspicuous the taste will be. And just set that aside to cool completely. I have here 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, to which I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of allspice, and a teaspoon of baking soda. Is that easy or what? Then just give all those ingredients a quick whisk and set aside. In yet another bowl, combine 1 cup of sugar with 3 whole eggs and 1 cup of vegetable oil, and whisk those ingredients together until they're well incorporated. One of the beauties of this cake is that there's no butter, there's oil. And now for one of my favorite parts, combining. Pour in the eggy mixture into the dry ingredients and then gently combine it with a spoon or a spatula. Look at that gingery color all the spices give the cake batter. It smelled so divine. Next, add in a teaspoon of vanilla. You can actually do this when you're creaming the wet ingredients. Also add 1 cup of buttermilk and get those ingredients mixed in as well. Now be careful not to overmix, otherwise I will have to come to your house and I will have to make you redo this cake. I'm just kidding. Next, tumble in your prunes and whisk them until they are distributed throughout the batter. Now actually I feel like it's better if you whisk the prunes in when you're combining the wet ingredients like the oil and all, because that way it's way more spread out and it was a little bit challenging to make sure that there were no chunks. And personally I don't like big chunks, but if you do, then go ahead and do it this way. Then just pour the batter into a prepared 9 by 13 inch baking pan. And I just buttered my pan, and you want to preheat your oven to 300 degrees Fahrenheit or 150 degrees Celsius, and you want to pop this cake into the oven for 35 to 40 minutes, and remember not to overbake, because the last thing you want on Christmas Day is a cake that is tough and chewy. 5 minutes before the cake comes out of the oven, get started on the caramel sauce. So for the caramel sauce, combine 1 cup of sugar with 1/2 cup of buttermilk, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 tablespoon of light corn syrup. Alternatively, use golden syrup or honey. Then add about 4 tablespoons of butter. You can use salted or unsalted, either one works. I also like to add around 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then you just want to give all these ingredients a quick whisk and just continue mixing until the mixture comes to a boil. And when it does, stop stirring and let the mixture boil for about 5 to 7 minutes or until it resembles the color of caramel. It doesn't actually become caramel, so it does not reach the softball stage at all. Your caramel sauce is ready when the cake comes out of the oven, which by the way, it looks so gorgeous. So you're going to take the sauce still hot, while it's still hot, pour it over the cake, and then just spread it out with a spatula to even it out. Now it probably won't be even because the corners will be full of caramel sauce, but that's the best part, so don't work yourself too much over it. Give the cake a couple of minutes before eating, so you just want to let it cool so that it absorbs all of that caramel and it becomes a gooey, sticky mess. And then just cut a piece. And the first piece is always the messiest, so don't judge me by the way I cut my piece, because it still tasted amazing. And eat it when it's warm, because that's when it tastes best, but of course it tastes great at room temperature. So the cake is cooled completely and it's done. As you can see, the edges are my favorite part because this is where all the caramel collects and it soaks up here nicely, so it's the gooeyest part. So now I'm going to give it a taste. I'm getting the edges first. Are you kidding me? This is seriously the best cake ever. I cannot stop myself from having another bite. It's not too sweet. The caramel adds a perfect texture. It has a burst of flavor from all the cinnamon, allspice, and nutmeg. This is, like I said, it's perfect for Christmas. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. And I really hope you give this a try. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye.